up, everyone, and welcome to Girl You Know What podcast, season 5, episode 19. I am Danielle.
And I'm Kisha.
And so we got we took last week off. It was my birthday weekend. That wasn't the real reason, but we said we'll just, we thank you. 25.
Okay, Tharissa. There you go.
Well, shoot, look, here's the thing. My grandmother says she's 42. She's been stuck at 42 since she was 42, okay? So none of her she doesn't care about her kids. But none of her grandkids are allowed to be over her age.
Nana will tell you in a minute if you ask her, how you doing? I feel pretty good for a teenager.
That part.
I'll be like, okay, teenager.
Okay.
But we're back.
We're back. So I think this week, because we've had a few heavy weeks, on the show since the election, and I do want to possibly talk about some political stuff, but your cousins in the entertainment business are really acting up.
Oh, Lord. I don't be getting pictures, so whatever you get ready to say, I don't probably know.
Okay, so I got some good ones for you then. So Nick Cannon, let's just start with Nicholas Cannon here. So, okay. He came out. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
No, go ahead. Okay.
So Nick Cannon was he's been doing a lot of interviews, especially with a lot of these women podcasters. And, they are getting in his ass because he doesn't really have a legitimate reason for why he's fathering all these children. And it always comes back to how it makes him feel, as being a father. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to, I don't have any kids. I've never given birth to a child. So I'm not going to say how that makes you feel as a parent. I don't know that. I think it's selfish on his part, but that's my personal opinion, the way he does it. However, he came out and said in an interview after he's been getting grilled and drilled that he's been diagnosed with NPD, which, if you don't know, NPD, of course, is narcissistic personality disorder. And the quick definition of it basically is it's a mental health condition where basically the person believes they are better than everyone else. So that's maybe, he didn't say that was why he's having all these children, but that's what he said. He was recently diagnosed with that. So what are your thoughts on that?
My eyes are closed right now. Here's the time for me to say my educational credential.
Okay.
In case this is your first time listening, I have received a master's degree in human services counseling with a concentration in marriage and family. And I would just like to say, I wish we could go back to a time, and I'm going to sound quite narcissistic when I make this statement. I wish we could go back to a time where you regular people didn't know professional lingo, where you didn't know professional terms, where you had no knowledge of a DSM-5 or 6 or whatever they're calling it now. I just wish we could go back to a time. And honestly, I wish that we could go back to a time where y'all hated going to therapy because y'all not really using it right.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like y'all are, I don't even know if y'all going to therapy with air quotes. It feels like you're going to therapy just to say that you go.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you're going to become one with yourself, to become aware of your trauma. It just feels like you're going to say, oh, yeah, that's what my therapist said. Oh, yeah, my therapist was telling me. Oh, yeah, because I was talking to the therapist, and it feels like therapy is a talking point for people now. And what else is very disturbing is what you do in that therapy session. We don't give a damn.
Exactly.
I really pray daily that we could go back to a time where y'all stop living your lives on the internet and you learn that some things are private. It used to be you wanted to keep your diagnosis private. We do have such a thing as HIPAA. Like we keep some diagnosis. It shouldn't be out in the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know who told you you had MPD? Did that Bryant girl tell you that? Did one of them therapists that you bring on the show? Did one of these women tell you that? Who
Probably.
you brought on the show? Or did a licensed therapist behind closed doors who you have had multiple sessions with, did they tell you that? Who did you get that opinion from? I'm not saying that it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking why did you feel the need to share it with the
That
rest of
part, yeah, that right there.
us? Why do y'all have the need to share your entire lives with people who care nothing for you? And what I want everybody to take into 2025 is nobody gives a shit.
That part. Thank you. Thank
What
you.
I mean by that is I see people share stuff and they say, well, this might help someone. It's not fucking helping. It's
No.
it's making shit worse. Keep it to yourself. You went to therapy today. Excuse me. Get you some close friends. If you don't have any close friends, then you're the problem. Because the Bible says to have a friend, you must prove yourself friendly. So
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of people screaming that. Well, I don't got no friends. It's you.
Yep.
It's you. You're the problem. That's why you ain't got no friends.
That part. All
But see,
that.
we don't like to hear that. We don't like to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sit around people who want to tickle your ears with bullshit. It's you. Let and keep everything to yourself in 2025. Work on you and keep it to your fucking self. We don't care.
No.
It's time that we start being honest. And the people who do care, tell them directly.
Yeah, that's it. Tell your
It's
children.
no need for you to make a public statement
Mm-hmm.
because you have 11 bitches. Not one of them gives a shit about you.
No.
That you could have went to one of them. So you're telling me you just have random children and there's no woman that you can lay your head in her bosom and like give your emotions to? You're just creating babies. You're not creating no relationship.
Exactly. And that's what they've been getting on him about. So maybe this is his reason. Well, because I'm a narcissist. So I mean, come on now, like stop it.
And so are you? No, I don't like y'all. This just has turned the corner for me right here
Yeah.
in the month of December. I don't like y'all.
Yeah.
It's just it's pathetic.
Happy holidays.
It becomes very pathetic out here.
It really is. It just makes you just sit back and just be like, really, this is
Like
where
my
we're at
grandma
now.
said, y'all spill y'all tell your guts.
Mm-hmm.
Tell everything. What is and I see what she be saying.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even know. I was talking to my friend. We be having these conversations. And I said, I don't know who convinced women that being naked meant you had high self-esteem. I still am confused by that.
Mm-hmm. I think we've talked about that before. Like, where does that come
I
from?
don't know how we arrived at that place.
Mm-hmm.
And they're convincing other women to do the same.
Yeah.
The most powerful thing that I heard this year, truthfully, and it should have been said a long time ago, was during homecoming season for HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
When that black lady, because they were talking about the bubble skirt that
Yeah.
everybody was
Yeah,
wearing,
we talked about that. Yeah.
put her entire ass out,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't know that your backside be. I didn't know that.
I didn't either until that.
And she said something so powerful. Ladies, you beautiful from the front.
Mm-hmm.
I want, and I really want black women. I don't care what other nationalities do. I'm black.
Oh yeah, we ain't caring about nobody else now.
I really want black women to start taking like pride in themselves. like she said, you cute from the front. Why is every picture you showing your ass?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about showing the skin of your backside, but you just got your back turned to the camera, take like that's all you're offering people.
Yeah, and then get mad when people say something about it.
Do y'all know how hard black women have worked? See, and this is why your kids need to know history. Because do y'all understand how hard black women have had to work to not be seen as a piece of ass?
Mm-hmm.
Because you do know that's all we were.
Yep.
We fought long and hard to be viewed in other lights, to be viewed as educated, to be viewed as professional, to be viewed as caring and empathetic. We fought hard for that shit.
And
And
still
now,
fighting.
absolutely. And to see y'all dumb it down to ass shots, uh-uh. And like she said, and I know people don't want to hear this, but going to a HBCU, that meant something.
Mm-hmm.
That meant like, oh, you come from a good home, like a good black home.
Yep.
Because the rest of them people was going to PWIs.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really know nothing about history and heritage. If you went to a HBCU and you was a black girl, that means something.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, it's to the dogs now.
It is. It completely is.
It's to the dogs.
Whew. So, okay. So I just saw this. Were you going to say something else? I apologize.
And what next?
Okay. All right. So Beyonce was recently named Billboard's greatest pop star of the 21st century. The
Mm-hmm,
20th century went to Mariah Carey. So that just lets you know where
mm-hmm,
the bar is.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Taylor Swift, happy for her. But of course, the Swifties are pissed and coming at Beyonce. So now we have the BeyHive versus the Swifties. And of course, now I will say this about Taylor Swift. When her fans get out of control, she will come in and be like, look, y'all need to calm down. I don't know if she's done that yet. I just saw this yesterday and it just caught my attention. Beyonce don't give a shit. She'll just let the BeyHive just keep attacking and attacking and then be like, what? When it gets too bad. So, first,
Because Beyonce is looking at everybody else like Blue Ivy was looking at the people off
thank
that.
you.
That's how she's looking at the rest of the
Yeah,
world.
she's looking right down on them like peasants. I mean,
This is the same woman who told you she don't care about streams, album sales. Do y'all understand how much money she got?
listen,
She don't care about that.
and let's not even put Jay-Z in the equation. Let's just talk about Beyonce and her
Because she
money. That's it.
she got money,
She came
and they
into the
are a
relationship with money.
they are a powerful force together. Like
Mm-hmm.
they got money over there.
Right.
Like they got money, and all they people got money.
Mm-hmm.
Let them be,
Yeah.
and she deserved it, y'all.
Exactly. I
And I
mean,
see her mama also now it makes sense. See, I don't be paying attention to nothing. Because now I see why her mama put that video up, and she started from 2000, and
mm-hmm.
the video like comes all the way up to. Yeah, Taylor Swift, you ain't got it. You ain't got that.
No.
What's
No.
that? A decade? What's that? No, that's 2 decades.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't got that, Taylor.
And that's just her solo career.
Yep.
So, it's just, there's no comparison. I mean, Taylor Swift, she's done her thing. I'm not a fan, but she's done her thing.
That ain't even including the writings on the wall, baby.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, yeah, this is just her solo Beyonce career. That's it. Not even Destiny's Child. If you added that,
The writings on the wall. What else?
before that, wasn't it just called Destiny? Huh?
Album after the writings on the wall was that was a Survivor album.
Yeah, that was Survivor. Then
they fulfilled.
Yeah. Yep.
But them last 3 albums alone, on top of what she did as a solo artist.
I mean, let's just go back to 2014 when she just snatched everybody's wig and released the Surprise album, which people still talk about today because every time someone, including Taylor Swift, drops a surprise album, they refer back to Beyonce's Formation album. Not Formation. It wasn't Formation.
It was that black one.
Yeah. Was it just,
Mhm.
it was self-titled. That's what they call it, self-titled, because it's just
Mhm.
called Beyonce.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you,
So, I mean, that changed the game right there.
that album was the truth.
Yeah. So, it's just,
But
it's just like,
you got to send me your year in wrap up. Why are we talking about music from
okay.
Apple? Because I posted mine
Oh,
on,
okay. Yeah, I forgot. Let me write that down. 'Cause I keep forgetting to do that because I've been seeing people do that.
and I posted mine, and and I thought to myself, now when I say I listen to old music, this is what I mean. Because do you know what the number one album? I should be ashamed of myself. Do you know what the number one album on my list was?
What's that?
It was Faith. Faithfully. No, not even Faithfully. It was her self-titled
Oh,
album.
yeah, the very first. What was that? Was the very first
Yes,
one? No, the
her
faithful.
very first album. The next one, Tony Braxton's first
Yeah.
album.
okay.
Like it said, I listened to 1,135 minutes of that Faith album.
Baby, because it's the
Wow,
truth.
listen.
But see, but that
Wow.
goes to show the how music was. You can still listen to those songs and songs before us, that we grew up on with our parents' music and things. And, this music today
Do you
is
want to know what number four was?
what's that?
Zapp and Rogers' greatest hits. Wait, I am stuck. I'm stuck. I don't want to come out though.
Listen, no.
I don't want to come out.
Mm-mm.
Number 8, Mary J. Blige, My Life.
Baby.
11, Butterfly, Mariah Carey.
Mm-hmm.
15, Brandy's first album. 13, Whitney by Whitney Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Rude Boys, Rude Awakening.
And can we just say none of these albums have hit the year 2K yet? What
Girl,
is the
I don't
latest?
want to go. I don't want to go.
No, ain't no need to. We just gonna stay right where we at. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't want to go.
Girl.
Music was different back then.
Yeah, it really was. It really was.
It was loving. It was like
Yeah.
tender. It was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Now, that's why I don't do it. It's just like, I can't. All right. Speaking of the 90s, let's talk about a has-been real quick. Jaleel White. So this one really intrigued me because I've been, I'm not going to lie. I was never a fan of Family Matters. I think I just watched it because of the whole, because I was just watching TGIF, whatever.
I am. Yeah.
But not only him, but a lot of people on that show irritated the shit out of me. I didn't think it was funny. It was just, but that's just my
People
opinion.
didn't like Laura.
Yeah.
I like the show.
Yeah.
Something about it. How Cedric talked about Luther's curl, like something just like it was something about it that was a little bit off. But
Yeah. And maybe it was just Jaleel White's. Yeah, maybe it was just Urkel. Maybe it was just that, and it just kind of got on my nerves. And the whole Stefan Urkel thing, I was like, you know what, y'all have gone too much, y'all.
I like Stefan though.
Child.
Urkel was annoying, that boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
As he grew up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
when they didn't turn the corner, well, they knew they had to, and that's where Stefan came from.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. And like
Yeah,
he even mentioned, he mentioned that. I think it was on his what's that show that comes on? Not Unsung. It's the other one that comes on TV One.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, but and I want to go back to that, reference that show, because the whole time in every interview that he does, which he very may well have been, because we've heard of this when the one who becomes the star of the show wasn't intended to be the star of the show, and they and the rest of the cast resents them. We've seen it with JJ on Good Times. There have been, other characters where we've heard this happen. So Jaleel White, his Urkel character, was only supposed to be like a recurring character, but he, got such a huge following, and he was just like like people were.
He was the show. He made the show.
He became the star of the show, and a lot of the people did not like it, and like he was saying, like adults, the cast that were like adults, mainly the one who played the mom. Yeah, that they like really intimidated him and everything, and that they tried to. and he would have to bring his father on set with him and everything like that. Okay, that's all fine because I truly believe that did happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I can see Harriet doing that.
oh, yeah, and that's who it was, and I think
I
that's
can
one of the
see that.
reasons why she got fired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so, but he recently released his memoir, and he's talking about, like all these women, and it's mainly all black women. I guess this is like his thing about him saying why he doesn't date black women now, which he never comes out and says. But one of the people that he talks about who he dated was actress Bianca Lawson, who of course is the daughter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who else? Who is the
Richard
daughter?
Lawson's daughter.
Richard Lawson's daughter. Yeah. So now let's just keep that in mind when I say that. Like her father has been acting since what, the 70s?
Right.
So, and
Yeah.
not only that, Bianca Lawson's mother is the niece of Barry Gordy.
Here we go. But
So, yeah. So Bianca has she grew up in money. Let's just say that. She's not
oh
hurting.
yeah.
So I guess this was when Bianca was on Saved by the Bell, the new class. I think that was like her first big role that she did. And so he didn't know who she was really, but they met like at some casting thing or whatever. And he asked her out. And she was like, okay, whatever. But she said on the date, like, she wasn't really, she could tell that he could tell that she wasn't really into him, and like that she was bored. And it wasn't until like after they left dinner and went to this arcade when she needed money from him to play games, that's when she seemed to have come alive. So he was kind of insinuating that all that, and he basically was saying like that's not the first time that these women who I dated in the past that they showed any
Hold on,
interest
sir.
in me was
Hold on,
when,
sir. You
yeah,
were on a date.
yeah,
Weren't you supposed to? And we're talking about an arcade date. So what was y'all, 16?
yeah, they
7?
had to have been because if Bianca, she's like what, our age, she's our age or maybe a
She's
year
our age.
older.
She's
Yeah,
44. I
yeah,
feel like she's 44.
yeah, she's 44 or 45, so she's our age. And so back then when Saved by the Bell, the new class is on, we were still in high school, I believe.
Yeah.
So she was in high school. So yeah, she
For
was a
her to go
teenager.
on a date with you and to know, I mean, you would have had to be because that show was still coming on.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
were young.
And maybe the thing is like either she could have been shy or she could have, just not been interested in you. How about that?
Because
Maybe
for you to insinuate that somebody needing some quarters for a video game machine makes them like money hungry or whatever
yes.
you're trying to insinuate, that is crazy
I
work.
mean, I was just like, "Are you serious?" And you really put that in a book, and he knows Bianca's not the type. She doesn't feed into that. Like you never hear from Bianca unless she actually has something like a project she's working on.
It'd be the most unattractive men. And I
I
don't mean
mean, that right there.
I have said this and I will stand on it. I'm not gonna use the UGLY word. But the most unattractive men will play in your face worse. Like,
I
why
mean,
would you even fix your mouth to say that?
yeah. I mean, what was the purpose?
Like, y'all are weird, man.
It's
It'd be just
insecurity.
like that girl said about broke men who complain about women being gold diggers or using them. She said it infuriates me because it's like you thinking that you're gonna drown in the desert. Like, nobody. Where do y'all come up with this stuff?
Right.
Sir, nobody is checking for you.
I mean, it's just
And
crazy.
you be trying, women, I know we be trying to be so nice. I be trying to be nice. They be like, sir,
Yeah.
I'm talking about money you don't have.
Right.
Like, because nobody's here to use. Most women are looking for that. I don't care what they screaming out. And I'm going to say most people. Most people are looking for a genuine connection. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care how much people be having these conversations about, oh, you're gonna have to foot the whole bill. If a man wanna be with me, he gonna have to blah say blah. Women trick on men they like.
Mm-hmm.
People trick on people they wanna be with. Don't fall for that.
Right.
If that person like you, guess what they gonna do? Go half with you. Not saying you're gonna have to require it. They're just gonna say, here goes some money.
Mm-hmm.
I paid the light bill. I saw it came. I just paid. Like when somebody likes you, the vibe is different.
Completely different.
So y'all be screaming this, I ain't gonna do this for a man. I had a conversation with a man who was explaining some stuff to me about how women receive men emotionally, and we just had this conversation. And I said, I'm sorry to tell you, but that woman don't like you. Like, yeah. So, and what it has done, it has created this thinking in a person's mind, in a man's mind, that all women behave that way. I said,
Yeah,
oh, that's not true. That's not true.
because
That woman have that woman behave that way because she don't like you.
right, and the thing is, I think it's like, and it can happen with women too. But
Yes.
I think it's like your ego doesn't allow you to see the obvious or just what everyone's telling you or what is painfully there, that they just this woman in particular just doesn't like you, homie. That's all it is. But you can't get it in your head that a woman who you're actually showing interest in doesn't want to have anything to do with you. It's like, oh my, like I'm this guy. I'm giving her this attention, and of course you think you got your shit together, so why shouldn't she?
Listen, like Tamar said, how do I know you like me if you ain't ever gave me no money? As soon as I like you, my money gonna show you first, and I'm a woman.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you. My
Church.
pocket's gonna tell you before you probably really figure it out.
Hmm. Yeah, because I don't just give money to anybody.
Yeah, I don't care if it's a t-shirt. I don't care if it's a hat.
Hmm.
I don't care if it's some shower gel. I'm gonna
Yeah.
buy you something.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, that's a true thing because
Yeah.
now I think about you at certain times.
Right. Right.
Now I want to give you gifts to show my admiration,
Hmm.
And now I see that these new people might be confused, like, oh, you don't need to buy my love and all this and that. No, so women really don't be liking y'all. I'm learning that you don't be knowing that them girls don't like y'all.
Yeah.
If she's not buying you anything, she doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Me and Brittany talk about this all the time, and
Hmm.
Brittany will tell you, women is bigger tricks than men.
Listen, and we see it.
Listen, and I do it. Ain't no open. I ain't ashamed to talk about it. I ain't ashamed. Listen, my homegirl be over there buying her husband Prada shoes,
Hmm.
Prada bags, Louis bags. Eh, that's my man. What am I supposed to do?
Exactly.
Y'all weird. Y'all don't even be
Yeah.
like do y'all?
Uh-uh.
I don't be liking them. Tell the truth. Tell shame
Uh,
the devil. What her mom say.
that's it.
They don't like them. And
Mm-mm.
it's sad because now I'm starting to see men don't even know what it feel like to be liked.
Yeah.
We've created such an environment of relationships between, and I'm not just gonna say I'm only saying that because I date men,
Hmm.
but we have created this environment between men and women where like nobody knows who to trust anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who's genuine.
Hmm.
Nobody knows, can I trust you? You lying to me? Like everybody's on guard.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
That's it.
And it's like, oh Lord.
It's crazy. It's like, just try to figure it out for yourself. Don't be listening
Look,
to, yeah, what somebody else had to say about their relationship and everything. And, just try to like read the room. That's what I say. Just read the room. Like maybe this person's just not into me, or maybe, you know, I don't know. I don't know. But it's just
because
like,
listen, I stand on this, and
mm-hmm.
I'm not waiting for nobody to tell me something they showing me.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I
And
say
I
read the
said that
room.
here before.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting on you to say what you're showing me. And what I
Mm-hmm.
noticed, a lot of people is like, well, why don't y'all just say that? They told you when they didn't do this.
Yeah.
When she didn't do that, that was her telling you right there.
Mm-hmm.
You got a responsibility to read the room.
Yep.
And I know some people say, well, I can't assume. I don't want to assume. Okay, well, the moment you felt it and you didn't see him do it, why you didn't ask him?
Right.
Because see, your ego wouldn't allow you to
Mm-hmm.
believe that
That's
the person didn't like you.
and the crazy thing is that's what it comes back to. It comes back to that damn ego.
Yeah, it's all, especially with men. Women,
Mm-hmm.
we already been kind of raised. I don't want to say to beat ourselves up, but
Mm-hmm.
we kind of been raised to be hard on ourselves
Yeah.
because we kind of been raised by women who hard on
Mm-hmm.
us. as much as your mom or your grandmother will say that, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, or your aunties,
Mm-hmm.
they be picking us apart sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you look like somebody just told me this the other day that somebody in their family said to them like, oh, you look like you gained some weight. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how we're used to people talking to us like that.
Right.
Men are not used to that. Men are used to pats on the back and nobody really coming down on them hard.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been coming down on us since we was little girls.
Yeah.
So we can look at how somebody is treating us and we know when something is different
Mm-hmm.
immediately. And then we just back away. You don't gotta tell us. As
Yeah.
soon as you do it, most of the time we get out of there.
Oh yeah.
But a man, his ego don't give him room for that.
Oh no, you're gonna keep trying and trying and trying and
Hmm.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And then when you finally just cut off all conversate communication and everything, then you know it's your fault.
Yeah, like, oh, she tripping.
Mm-hmm.
Girl,
Girl.
what's next?
All right, so let's switch to politics.
Uh-uh.
Okay, so Hunter Biden, the son of President Joe Biden, was pardoned by his father.
Hmm.
Both sides, of course, the Republicans are going to be talking shit, of course.
Hmm.
But even some of the Democrats, not all, but I've seen some who are disappointed because they say Joe Biden said he wasn't going to pardon his son.
Because he thought Kamala was gonna be president.
Yeah. So I don't understand. Okay. And the thing is, like, even like on these news shows and in articles and stuff, people are asking, like, well, if this was your child and you had the ability to do that, would you pardon them? And they all say yes. So what the fuck is the problem? And we know the charges brought against him were bullshit. It was like, not saying that he didn't do anything wrong, but that shouldn't have been what the government was focused on.
But coming at me about a tax bill when I could just write you a check for
Exact.
whatever it is you're telling me I owe you. I mean, why you don't just want the money? You want to
Right.
see the money?
Mm-hmm.
I can be on house arrest or whatever, however we can arrange this.
I mean that.
Like, I mean, it just seemed ridiculous.
It
But
was. It was a waste of time, a waste of taxpayers' money. Y'all so worried about the price of eggs and gas and everything like that, but y'all don't realize that when they do bullshit like that, that adds to your bill as well.
I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with this
Me either.
because my thing was this: there's no way I would have left my son in a prison or whatever his sentence would have been,
Mm-hmm.
or
I think he
he is.
was going to have to do some jail time if I'm not mistaken. If he wasn't
You want me to
sentenced
leave
yet.
my son in jail
Right.
with Donald Trump being the president,
Listen, he would have never got out.
with him having control of the FBI, with
Mm-hmm.
him having control of the CIA,
Mm-hmm.
with him with the Supreme Court basically telling him that he could use the military to go after his opponents.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to leave my son in prison in that environment?
Right.
Y'all sound crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds crazy.
And it just shows where we're at. Like just stuff like that.
I
Just
question this and I wonder it all the time. Hillary and Bill and
mm-hmm.
um, Barack and Michelle, y'all be getting on a plane leaving the country when he gets sworn in. I was wondering that. Like, I would leave.
Yeah, I wouldn't be there.
I would leave to a country that didn't extradite, especially
Mm-hmm.
Hillary and Bill.
Well, remember we talked last episode we did when I mentioned how the Morning Joe cast, how they went and had a meeting with Trump because they've been dogging his ass for the past 8 years. So they were like, you ain't gonna get us. And at first I was kind of like, that's a little cowardly. But then I understood it. I was like,
I
okay.
would have a one-way plane ticket to a non to a country who did not extradite.
I mean, basically because
And I would stay there for a few weeks, a
yeah.
month, if you afford it. They
Mm-hmm.
all rich, they all can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
I would just sit and watch what's going
Yeah.
on because there's no way. And now you making problems with our allies. You making
Mm-hmm.
problems with people in Canada. You making problems with the people in Mexico. And it's like, what is wrong with you,
Just,
child?
I mean, and he's not even sworn in yet.
How you making trouble with the Canadians though? You know,
Right.
Queen it is up there like, what is wrong with you?
I mean, just
What?
crazy.
But I'm trying not to use certain words like slow and stupid. This is this is how we know. I'm gonna try to find these words. That this country is severely under is how do I want to say this? Severely undereducated.
Very. And
Because
and they know it.
why didn't any of you who were screaming, yay to the tariffs, yay to the tariffs, why didn't one of you look up the word?
Yeah, because they don't know. They just think it's a big word and that they don't use every day. And they're just like, oh, he's going to do this and he's going to do that. You don't even
And
know
you
what he's
have
talking
no
about.
kind of understanding that the tariff was going to be on you.
Mm-hmm.
You're the company receiving it at the dock.
Yeah.
And,
And
and let's just say for shits and giggles, it was on the company that you're buying from.
right.
Let's say that they were responsible for the tariff.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows they're going to charge you more for it, right?
Right.
You got everybody's going to get their money regardless.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're going to get their money.
So if he was to impose a tariff on those countries, they're just going to charge you more for the goods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if the tariff is 2,500 for every crate we send, we're going to charge you $2.25 more for every item. I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
And
The ability to not do basic math is
yeah,
disturbing.
because people just get so blinded by everything else that they don't even take the time to think about looking at what certain things mean. That's why you got people coming back after he opens his mouth after he wins saying, "Oh, I regret my vote." Dumbasses, he told you what he was going to do the entire time. And of course, he's not going to tell you everything that he's going to do because he knows that the people who are on the fence and who actually have a little bit of common sense and knowledge about stuff aren't going to vote for him if he says exactly what he's going to do with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of tariffs, Walmart, of all places, has had the nerve to come out where they've contributed probably by this point billions
Mm-hmm.
to his campaign and just to him, period,
Mm-hmm.
have come out and said, well, with these new tariffs, it's going to make prices go up. No shit. I'm just
Walmart,
like,
that's why ain't nobody coming in there.
I mean, basically, that's why, yeah.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get nothing from them anyway.
Me
So
either. I don't either. So I ain't worried about that.
I get on Amazon, TikTok. I hope they stop the ban on TikTok. When is supposed to take effect? January the 19th or something?
That's what I heard, but who knows?
I hope they find a way to. I blame Jeff Bezos for that.
Basically.
The moment everything was cool, the moment they started the TikTok shop,
Mm-hmm.
it went
It
downhill.
went, yeah. It was like, oh shit, we got
Jeff Bezos.
competition.
I
Mm-hmm.
know he's behind it. I don't care what
Oh yeah.
nobody say. He done said something to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got a lobbyist.
Oh yeah.
And he has said something to one of the lobbyists. And or two, because I'm sure he has multiple.
Oh yeah. You know that.
I'm sure he pays multiple lobbyists.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that's how all this got started.
Oh yeah. Because it all comes down to, like, we talk about it all the time. Everything we say, it always comes back to money.
For the dollar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment he saw that people were shopping with them and not with him, then he made it a Chinese thing. You
Yep.
know, the Chinese, the technology, they need to sell us whatever their formula is. No, they
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Nope.
Americans are so greedy.
Greedy. And that's going to be the downfall.
They are so greedy. It's
Mm-hmm.
terrible.
Yep. It's not going to be black people. It's not going to be Native Americans, or it's not going to be immigrants. It's going to be these rich white folks
Yes.
who are going to be the downfall of this country.
They just want everything in excess.
Mm-hmm.
They want more and more and more. And it's like, my God, when is it enough?
Yeah.
What happened to just having enough?
Nothing. It doesn't exist.
My God. Well, you guys, we thank you so much for tuning in. And I would like to say one thing before we go. Um, it's about to be January. And remember what I told y'all, what, 2 shows ago, Danielle? Was it 3 shows ago that everybody needs to go to therapy?
Oh yeah.
So look, it might be a little crowded in January.
Right. Just like the gym.
So exactly. So let's do March. Just check in with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself a goal of March. March, you're gonna go talk to a therapist. Just kind of see where you are, talk about who you are. And if you want to make an appointment in 2 weeks, that's cool.
Yeah.
But if you feel like I'm straight, I'll see you again in 3 more months.
Mm-hmm.
But please, guys, try to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Let that be your goal next year.
One of the best decisions I
Okay.
ever made.
Me too. Me too. As always, you can reach us at girl underscore you know what, at Danny B Speaks, and at Wellness and Women. And until next time, you all have a great week. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.